Welcome everyone. Hello. Welcome to another great episode of The Good Word with yours truly, Mr. Frederick. All right, guys, get right into it here today. Today, we are going to talk about. Actually, before I even get started, family, on what we're going to talk about today, I want to say that we lost a legend today, a living legend in my eyes, anyways, and that is D'Angelo. These glasses, right? That is D'Angelo, great R&B singer. D'Angelo, I've really enjoyed his music. Really looked at the talent that he had, and he will be forever missed. And I want to say a couple of things about D'Angelo. In hearing this, he was only 51, not far from my age. And I realized that in this, we're not here for a long time, but we want to be here for a good time. Or at least we want to make it a good time while we're here, family. And you want to make the most of it. And I do believe D'Angelo did that with his time here because, like I said, he's a legend. He Brown Sugar, let me see, You're My Lady. That was just off of the first album, but of course the Voodoo album was the one that really broke him through to me, that gave him crossover success. Some of my favorites on that album weren't even big hits necessarily, like the singles, Africa, but I really enjoyed, of course, How Does It Feel? All the ladies love that one too, the video especially. Got really in shape for that, and looked great, and it's a wonderful composition. I mean, him and Angie Stone worked on a lot of his music together, so R.I.P. to her as well. And as you guys know, Mr. Frederick here, I'm a huge music lover. I do it myself. I love music. Music is the rhythm of life. It's music. It really is. And you think about what you were doing at that time when that song came out, or when you first heard that song, you think about how it made you feel, who was you with, or you could have just been by yourself, jamming and enjoying the message, okay? Enjoying the groove, okay? And I just want to say that thank D'Angelo for what he's done and for putting out such a great discography. He only had like really 3 albums, but the albums were super. I mean, you had Black Messiah, Voodoo, and of course the Brown Sugar album, but I mean, just those 3 are classics. You don't need a whole lot to be great. All you need to do is be great. I mean, look at Lauryn Hill. She only really had 1 album, but great. Greatness is not quantified by quantity. How great, how often can you be great? Greatness it's like, I liken it to a shooting star. Okay, shooting star. You don't need to see 2 in your lifetime. You don't need to see a shooting star twice. Oh, I saw it when I was 17 and I saw it when I was 30. No, that's not how a shooting star works. You see it once, and that's enough for it to be great. Okay, so understand, family, that what I do want to get into in talking as well today, I do want to talk about, I guess it's kind of tied into D'Angelo as well and his greatness, but it's about your greatness too, family. It's about, don't get tricked out of your calling. And a lot of times we have the ability to get tricked out of our calling. It can happen to any of us. And even when you aren't expecting it, you're not suspecting it, you are on your path, you're doing what God wants you to do, and the next thing you know, wham, surprise, surprise, you're not in your calling anymore. Or it's not the primary focus. It could be someone just comes in your life and disturbs you, or it could be something within yourself. You lose the passion, or you get distracted, or something comes along. But no, you can never let that happen, family. You have your calling for a purpose and a reason. And it's the most important reason why God puts you here. Everything happens for a reason, family. Like I said, we're not here for a long time, but we should make it a good time while we're here. So that being said, what you got to understand is you're not responsible for healing anyone or anyone's peace or happiness. You're not. Honestly, you're really not. And you can't do it. I mean, they have to have happiness, peace, and love within them. You trying to transfer that or do, it's just not going to work, because it's going to drain you. So you have to remember that everyone's responsible for their own peace, their own love, their own happiness. And you can't do that. So don't get caught up. That's one of the things that can get you out of your calling. Trying to help someone else, trying to bring them to where you feel they should be. And like I said, that's a mission impossible. You're going to spin your wheels with that. So don't get caught up in that, family. And you're certainly not responsible for someone and how they handle you. Because at the end of the day, and what you do in response to that, because at the end of the day, they chose to handle you that way. Whether they had lack of self-control, whether they had childhood issues, mental issues, I don't care what's the excuse, jealousy, hate, whatever it is. You don't make excuses for anyone. But you have to acknowledge how someone handles you when it's not proper and it's not meant for you and you don't deserve that. You have to secure that in yourself, family, and that's self-respect and self-love. That comes first. Don't get caught up in the trap of trying to look out for people, sacrificing yourself and not looking out for yourself, to lighting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Because eventually what's going to happen, you're going to resent them, okay? And you might even resent yourself. And you can only do but so much drinking and smoking and trying to bury your true feelings before the real you comes out, especially when God gets involved. So family, don't even fall into that. Just be your true, honest self and respond the way that you need to, okay? And sometimes that's, hey, get out of my face. Get away from me. Sometimes that's the honest, truest way you could live. All right, so remember that, family. Also, the world doesn't owe you anything or promise you anything. Time is not promised to anyone. We see that every day, family. But I can tell you this. If you are blessed enough, like D'Angelo was, to live and do what your calling is and you're assigned by God, you can certainly give the world an IOU. And that's a blessing when you get that much out of your life. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you can give the world an IOU. And you're lucky if you leave the earth that way, where it's like, I got so much out of living in this one lifetime that I owe the world something. I owe the world something. Imagine how great that is to know that you've touched people. You made people feel whatever you do. It could be you're a great writer, songwriter, singer, entertainer. It doesn't have to be entertainment, though. It could be you're a great teacher. It could be that you are a great craftsman. You create great work. You're a great artist. It doesn't always have to necessarily serve people in that way, but the beauty of living is if you can give the world something great, and you can give back something great by being satisfied with your excellence. And if you can do that, you can't ask for anything more. That's when you're giving the world an IOU, because you're getting something out of waking up every morning. You're getting life. You're getting breath. You're getting excitement. And you're getting purpose, okay? And everyone doesn't live that way, family, but you can live that way. If you believe you can, you can. It's all on you and what you believe. So remember that, family. And also, you can't control how you die in this world, family. You can't control all the time. Sometimes, obviously, you can. But most of the times, we don't control that, or we would never die. I don't know anyone say, I'm about tired of this. Let's get out of here. Give me this. I don't know too many people that do that. They go not willing to go. They go when God says it's time for them to go, okay? But the thing is, you can't control how you live. You certainly can control how you live, family. And that's what you want to focus on. Not how long, but how impactful your life is. How satisfied you are with every breath you take. I think it was Les Brown who said, with every breath you take, you want to make and create breathtaking moments. And I love that, because you do. You want to create those breathtaking moments, family, with every breath you take, because life is certainly not promised to any of us. But while we're here and we're blessed to be here, we want to appreciate it, and we want to live life to the fullest. If it's something you want to do it, family. As long as you're not hurting anyone, do what you want to do. If it's a dream you have, a goal you have, forget about people tell you can't do it, or you're not enough, or whatever. honestly, what is it to them? They live their life. Do what you want to do. If you don't feel you can do it, or if that's too much for you, let it be too much for you. It has nothing to do with me. Your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. You know, it's your business. And you got to tell people that, family, but do what you love. Never hold back your dreams because of fear and doubt. Always know that God would never put that in your head. The Lord would never say you can't. Be scared. Be fearful. He doesn't give us a spirit of fear, okay? He gives a spirit of power, a sound mind, and love. So understand that if you have something on your heart you want to do it. You can do it, okay? And don't let anyone tell you can't, okay? And like I said, I mean, the greatest thing is if you can do and live in excellence and become excellent at what you do when you do leave this physical form, because we never really die, okay? We transform forms, okay, from the physical to the spirit. And then, you know, that's just how it works. But if you can in the physical be a legend that someone remembers forever, okay, and they pass on to their next generation and play your music or whatever you do, or just remember the good words you spewed out, okay, understand that that's a life worth living. And also understand this, family, that when you getting tricked out of your calling and you're not living in your purpose because of expectations of others, because of some sort of maybe insecurity, some sort of fear that you have, understand that that's the enemy. That's the adversary that's doing that. That's not the Lord. That is not the Lord that's doing that, family. So whatever individuals or whatever circumstances that cause you to believe you can't, know that the evil that others do is not as powerful as the good that God does. So no matter what negative information that you were given, or maybe how you were treated, or whatever, maybe you just internalized that you can't do something, okay? Maybe over time you just came up with that type of conclusion for yourself that you can't do it, okay? Understand that God is stronger than that, and that's not God. You need to know that. It's not Lord. And remember, at all times, no, this is not God that's doing that. I don't know who it is, but it's not God, okay? So remember that. Don't get tricked out of your calling. Your calling's your calling. It's just for you. Just like your fingerprint, no one has it but you. You're the only person to have that fingerprint. Your fingerprints is all over your calling. That what you touch with your hand is meant by the Most High. That's meant for you to touch that with your hand. It's meant for you to make that impact. And it's not going to be for everyone. So get that out of your head, family. If you let one individual that tell you, oh, that's not nothing. Oh, that's not nothing. Okay, it's not nothing to you. But guess what? Lucky enough for me, it's 8 billion people in this world. And you're just one of them. So go somewhere and sit down and keep your opinion to yourself. And that's what you got to tell people, family. You got to resist the devil and he shall flee. You can't sit up and let people, I mean, you can let them say whatever they want. You can ignore them. But at the end of the day, what are you going to sit there and listen to that for? Okay, sometimes, family, and I know a lot of people try to be good Christians, good religious, whatever religion you believe in, just God lovers. And you try to be kind to people and you try to sit there and be polite and respectful. But it's a time when you have to adamantly stand up for yourself. And like I said, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. So it's a time when you have to be steadfast, okay? And say, get out of my face, okay? Whether you do that verbally or you do it with your actions. And you don't put that person around you, and you don't put those obstacles, or you don't let those obstacles stop you. You believe in yourself. You have confidence. And it's going to ruffle some feathers. Some people are going to say you're arrogant. Some people are going to say you're cocky, confident, whatever. But trust me, all it is that they see something in you that they don't have, all right? And never take what they're saying, if it's telling you that you can't do something, as the gospel. That's not, okay? That's a lie. And the truth ain't in them. And you know where it's coming from, their daddy, the adversary. All right, so don't get tricked out of your position, family. Do what you're meant to do. Do what you're meant to do. Don't be around negative energy, family. You must resist it. You must reject it. You must literally delete it. You must, You have to literally just obliterate any negativity around you that you can. You got to get it out of there. It doesn't belong to you. It's not mine. I don't own this. All I own is I can. All I own is I will. All I own is I am. That's what I take ownership of. I don't take ownership of any I can't, I won't. No. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. Okay? So don't be around negative energies. It's going to hurt your health. Okay? It's going to hurt your calling, certainly. It's going to hurt your wealth. Because your wealth is not just in money, but your wealth is in your health. Your wealth is in the way you feel. Your wealth, and also money too. Okay? He has many mansions. Okay? My father has many mansions. So the understand that the wealth is stored up for the wicked, stored up by the wicked, will be given to the righteous. So if you follow the obedience of the Lord, if you follow that path, which is aligned with your assignment, your calling, you're not going to let anyone tell you can't do it, and you will be given everything you need in this world. Here, not when you pass on to the spiritual form, but right now, right here, today, you'll be given it. Okay? And it's not going to be defined by someone else. It's not going to be defined by another person's interpretation of what your wealth is. Okay? They can't do it. They're not the Lord above. They can't define what your wealth is. You could have someone that's driving a 2027, 2026, okay? Maserati, I don't know, whatever, Range Rover, okay? And driving down the street, and they are envious of you and your hoopty, 1979 Coupe de Ville. And they're envious of it. You know why? Because of that wealth that you have inside, that light you have inside, that energy, that belief, that faith, that joy. Joy is priceless. You can't just buy joy. Yeah, it's a great car, but that person might be miserable inside. Understand that it's some things that you can't buy in this world. Believe that. And if you think that wealth, if you think that another person can define what your riches are, you're basically saying that that's your God. Hey Arnold, you're my God. And you know that's not the case. So family, love what you do and do what you love. Peace.